Hello, and welcome to the third day update of our journey to SSF. Do I really need to say this? Yeah, I'll say it every time. To our journey to Tier 2 Rathma on our SSF Druid, okay? Welcome. So, yesterday, day 3 was the first day that I didn't go fucking insane in terms of amount of hours. I think we went for about 4 to 5 hours, just like a more solid amount of time. We managed to clear like about a full level. I think we're at about 50% or 40 something percent when we ended on day 2. So now we're at like level 91. Cleared a full level. So that's pretty good. It's gonna set us up pretty well. I'll show as usual the drops. It's a lot less since it's been like I think about 1/4 the amount of time spent in terms of getting drops, but we did get something very special. So let me pull up the video. Alright, so yeah, that's day 3. And yeah, you can see we went into a cow map, was hoping to get some runes there. We got another pair of occultists with really good roll. So I figured, yeah, I might as well slam them just to see maybe hit something very cool. They broke, much like the first pair, but it's okay. We don't really mind it too much. It's not pivotal to any of our builds. And here in Ariad Battlefield, we dropped Aspired Helm. Now remember, again, we're always thinking about all the builds that we can run into, and Aspired Helm can turn into a Nightwing or a Veil of Steel. Nightwing, on one hand, could be part of that, like, swerve into Arctic Blast. Arctic Blast is an amazing map clearer, which would probably mean that, like, with a Nightwing, with the Cryptic Sword we already dropped, with the 2 sockets, with the fast that we have, there is a chance to get into, like, Arctic Blast and maybe farm that for a while. Or if it is a Veil of Steel, more Fizz build could really benefit from it. Or alternatively, a Merc could be using that. We really want to make that like Act 1 Merc or Act 5 Merc work in the future instead of the Act 4 Merc with the Amp to get a little bit more damage on our side. So both items would be good, but we were kind of like... I was kind of hoping for a Nightwing just so that fight would be cool to change up what we're farming on. So yeah, we went ahead to identify it. Everybody was calling it Nightwings in the chat. And yeah, as we hop to identify it, it comes as a Veil of Steel, but it is 79 ED, which is an amazing roll for the ED. The res is a bit low, but if you use it on a Merc, the res don't matter too much. So mostly we want to see free sockets in this bad boy, but we got Lifesteal. And Lifesteal is still good for the Merc. We're not complaining too much. It's a Veil Steel. Was really happy with it and hoping to make a Fizz Merc with it. Over here at Andy, we drop a Monarch, unique Monarch. That's the Storm Shield. Commonly, the item used on Summoner Druid for Declone. And since we will eventually want to do Declone at Tier 2, and you can see we slammed max fire resist on it. Pretty much exactly what I was looking for Declone. So really happy about that slam. The PDR is a little bit low, but you don't need as much PDR as other classes on the Summoner Druid from what I heard from a few buds who tried, a few people on the Druid Discord. So hopefully this could be our tier 2 Declone shield in case we do run it with the Summoner. So yeah, I'm kind of like trying to explain what I'm going through there, and that was like really nice to get. Over here, we drop a unique amulet on our way to Andy. We're farming Andy because it was corrupted, and whenever Andy's corrupted, it's a good opportunity to run it. It was just an Okazun relic. It was about as bad as our first one, so nothing too exciting there. Over here, we identify a ring. It's a rare ring. You can kind of see the stats. Let me stop it. It's 10 FCR, 30 cold res, 29 fire res, 16 poison res. It's a total of 75 res on a ring, which is an insane amount. And it has half freeze duration. Absolutely bonkers ring. I identify it, I look, and then I stop myself, and I think I do a double take here. So I'm like, yeah, this is a lot of res on one singular ring. I'll sadly say that I did break it, but we don't have to see that tragic moment take course again. Here we drop another Mal rune. Mal runes, again, super useful runes. We already made our beast with 1 Mal rune. I am looking to make a CTA, so 2 Mal runes will turn into an Ist, and we have another third Mal rune, I believe. So now we're just waiting on that Ohm rune, or 2 Vex runes, whatever drops first. here in the Ancestral, we drop a COA, Crown of Ages. Pretty bad PDR roll, a lot of res on it, so could be useful, could be just average. It rolls maximum poison resist, which normally is not something you're looking for in a COA, but because it has so much res, there's a world where I take this with me to tier 0 Rathma, in case I don't find any other pellet that works for me. I don't know if that will be the case. We still haven't dropped any of the good pellets like Spirit Keeper, Dead Mother, Cerebus, Jalal's. Actually, we dropped one Jalal, but it was ethereal, sadly, so yeah, we haven't dropped any of these pellets. And over here in the Demon Road has been super good to us in terms of drops. We drop our first Viper Magi skin. A bit late for a Viper Magi, but with a good slam, like 2 skills, we could have been really happy with it. Normally you'd up this before you slam it, so it doesn't get 2 sockets instead of 3. It can only get 3 sockets in the best version, but I don't really want 3 sockets anyway, so I figured might as well just slam it. Newsflash, I broke that too. It was a lot of bricks that day. Here in our first Govos, we drop a low rune. This is the first low rune we got, and I had some time since we dropped it to kind of go over rune words, things that I could make. We are most likely going to make a Fortitude for a Merc with it, like an Act 1 Merc. Let me stop before. I looked into it. There's a bunch of rune words that are very good, but are not good specifically for Druid. So yeah, Fortitude for a Merc is the most likely one. Second best option is to just combine it upwards to the bear once we need a bear, because we don't need a low rune just by itself. So we will see what ends up happening. I like the idea of making the Fortitude though at the moment. Yeah, so over here we drop a pretty rare boots. You don't see these often. These are Tanker's Hobnails. They're a set from the Tanker set. Amazing boots. They give PDR. Give a lot of PDR. This one rolled 7 out of 10, and average on the decks as well. Honestly, normally you don't see them. They don't see a lot of use, but you could run them in declone on melee builds who need like a lot more PDR. I don't know if I will need them personally, but it's still like a cool drop kind of thing to see. So yeah, I was like pretty happy with it. I think I've only dropped these once before in PD2. I think we dropped them in season 9 once, and I haven't seen them since. So just like a cool drop, I guess. I wanted to include it. From what I remember, shortly after dropping them, that's probably why I left this clip running. Yeah, we dropped a ring as well in the Ancestral. Was a Nagel ring, 32 MF on this one. It's the highest Nagel we rolled so far, so it's still like a nice thing to have. I'll probably slam it, hoping to see more MF on it. If it hit something like 50 MF Nagel, it would be a pretty cool ring to carry around. And over here in the same Ancestral, the unbelievable happens. As we go about our day, normal day free, you know, MFing, looking for stuff, we drop a Horadric Navigator. Now, I know, this is not useful to our quest. It's not going to make us better or stronger, but just in terms of style points, this has been the most exciting drop, I think, that we've dropped since the run started. Absolute bonkers stuff to get, like, a Navigator. I was just like, my mind is blown absolutely by this. So I was really happy to see this. And yeah, I mean, it's not useful. It's just cool to have. But yeah, I was really happy that C from the chat seems to be really happy for us as well. And yeah, that was about the drops for the day. I believe there was one more thing coming at the end. We got a Venom Word. Again, it's in the same map. We got a Venom Word. And yeah, the Venom Word is normally what you use for Rathma on most builds is like either Venom Word, like crafted or rare armor, or you use G-Bane for melee or Fizz builds. Generally, they use G-Bane. So a good Venom Word is really good for us as an option for Rathma. And this one rolled 4 max life, 7 max to poison resistance. So a pretty good rolls overall. Definitely something we'd like to use. So I'm going to see how I can kind of incorporate it into my build. If we find something better, we'll find something better, but I haven't dropped a G-Bane yet. So I don't know if we'll see anything better than this for a while now. I've been trying to pick up all the Venom wards that I see and just like slam them to see if I can get something amazing, like free socket, 6 max life, these kind of things. Haven't seen any yet, but we're going strong. This one rolled pretty low in the poison res. I'm just now noticing it, but I think it's still okay with 40 poison res. Yeah, you're getting a lot of resistances in. Yeah, I think we're just ordering it in our might be useful for Rathma tab. And yeah, that was about it for the drops on day 3. So we came into day 3 with the intention of running a secondary Annie. Like, as you can see, I already have one pest ready. I have like a BSS ready. And sadly, we run so far, let me show, we killed 32 maps. We only got 1 PDE out of 32 map bosses. I've done a few more maps, but in some of them, I think I didn't kill the boss for some reason. 2 or 3 maps, I think I forgot, or yeah, there were a couple maps where we skipped it for some reason. So we've killed 32 map bosses, only got 1 PDE, sadly. So that's part of like the pain sometimes in SSF. Sometimes things just don't drop, and that just happens. We keep on improving kind of like our gear, getting more better charms if we can. Like I found like more 11 fire charms. We found an Atma's that we decided to punch a hole in. We slammed it for magic find, so a total this gives us 70 MF. And we also slammed a Ravenfrost for 15 MF. It's one of the Ravenfrosts we dropped in like day 2. So yeah, we managed to get our MF really high up. Our native MF is 385, which is honestly way too high. Sometimes if we run it with the beast, of course, it's a little bit lower. But overall, we're doing really good on that front, and we're getting a lot of MFing done. Theoretically, like sometimes I think like I should probably switch some items for more effectiveness. I just didn't find anything that would make us that much more efficient at killing. So for now, that's what I'm going with. We're still re-rolling charms. That's going to be, again, the main goal of day 4. Keep re-rolling charms, look for these skillers. We have managed to re-roll a bunch of stuff into skillers, even skillers with life. They just happen to be for other classes. I'm keeping them just for like, you know, just to remember what I re-rolled into. But I'll keep re-rolling them, and hopefully we can hit at least our first skiller for summoning. That would be cool, or our first lifer for shapeshifting, because we do have one shapeshifter skiller that we managed to hit. Alright, with that said, that was our recap for day 3. And day 4, again, we're looking for at least 1 PD. I want to run this declone again, hoping to get maybe a slightly better Annie. And also so I could have a backup Annie for the first time that we run Rathma. Which hopefully will be today or the next day. I don't know when we'll get our gear ready. We also didn't get a Splinter yet. We've had 2 Mendelin events on day 3. These are the only Mendelin events we've had. No Splinter dropped yet, so yeah, really hoping to get some Splinters going, because we're going to need that experience in Rathma. We're going to need also to have some attempts at corrupting Annies. Once I run the second declone, I'll probably respec to have like a few more points in Gust, and once I do, I think I'll start farming pests a little bit more aggressively, because we've been kind of just waiting to get this one done first. And once I have like maybe 3 or 4 more pests, I'll run the declones whenever I get the PDE. And yeah, hopefully that will let us kind of like farm all the things to be ready. Keys, I think I will not be farming anymore. Keys specifically, we'll just hope to get them from map events. But yeah, I'll just stay optimistic about that. Maybe I'll have to farm more keys individually. If I do, it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully we're gonna get massive drops on day 4. I'm really hoping to find a bear rune for another bear rune, I should say, for a Wrath Act 1 mark. Or alternatively, we've been saving the Immortal King set. If the belt hasn't dropped yet, if we do find the belt, we can equip our Act 5 merc with full IK set. I've seen it before. It's really strong, so that could be another option for us to kind of improve our merc situation. Alternatively, if we find the third piece of knives or Nudge, some people say it differently, that can be a really strong set for the Act 4 mark. So a lot of options, a lot of directions we could go with. We'll just have to live and see. Otherwise, we're looking for other items for us to get out of this MFing stage of our life. But yeah, I'll see you all in the next video, and thank you all for following and watching and liking and commenting and subscribing and noting the bell and I don't know all the other stuff people do on YouTube. I don't watch YouTube. I don't know what people do here. I'll see you in the next one. Catch me on the Twitch if you want to see it live, and bye bye for now.